Long before he earned reverence as a CEO in the timber trade, Jame was the orchestrator of a glittering beauty salon in a city that never slept. There, under ceaseless neon glow, faces as flawless as paintings drifted through his life like nameless shadows. Love was plentiful, yet fleeting. The women who gravitated toward him were drawn to his renown, his quiet poise, and the steady wealth he exuded. But when the salon crumbled in the aftermath of the pandemic, when Jame needed a steady hand to hold, they slipped away without a trace. In moments of doubt, he wondered, am I not enough? Is love a privilege reserved for others, those less consumed by work, less tethered to reason, less alone in the worlds they've built? The empire he toiled to create collapsed, plunging him into despair. Few knew of the nights he sat in his hollow apartment, hands that once guided surgical blades now trembling with futility. He had lost it all, his reputation, his riches, and those who vowed to stand by him. And so he went home, the northern mountain village, a place Jame had once fought to leave behind, greeted him with a quiet peace. His father, Peter Nguyen, a man whose faith rested solely in honest labor, asked no questions about his son's wounds. With a gentle look, he pressed the keys to the family's woodworking shop into Jame's hand and said, "Your family's still here." In those days of starting anew, Jame met Tu Diep. She wore no makeup, no designer labels, living in a simple wooden house perched on a hillside, abandoned by a husband who'd cast her aside. Diep knew nothing of Jame's past as a CEO or celebrated surgeon. To her, he was simply on Jame, a man who helped without hesitation, listened with care, and treated everyone with warmth. And that was enough. Jame often pondered what it was about Diep that set his heart alight. Was it her silent resilience, or the eyes that had weathered storms yet still sparkled with belief in brighter days? Perhaps both. But deeper still, he realized her love stemmed not from wealth or status, but from the heart. Their love didn't bloom with roses or dazzling promises. It grew from the humblest moments. A tender glance, a bowl of steaming rice shared in the rainy dusk, a small home ringing with quiet laughter. Jame, who once strode through gleaming operating rooms and polished boardrooms, finally found where he belonged. He didn't need a perfect woman. He needed one who'd wipe the sweat from his brow after a hard day's work. A warm kitchen where dinners, however simple, were filled with the voices of those he cherished. With Diep, he had nothing to prove, and to him she was home. As time passed, the villagers grew accustomed to seeing Jame laboring in the woodshop each morning, then pedaling his bicycle to fetch Diep in the afternoons. They spoke little of their love, but their eyes betrayed a bond stronger than any flowery words. One autumn day, as Jame held Diep's hand on a sun-dappled dirt path, he knew he'd found life's greatest treasure. Not success, not wealth, but peace in his soul. A love not ostentatious, but deep enough to heal. He'd once believed love belonged to others, those unscarred by failure or loss. Now he understood that true love wasn't born of glory, but of the courage to open one's heart after it had been broken. With Diep, he was no longer the man who had it all. He was just a man who'd stumbled midway, now learning to walk again, not alone, but with a woman who'd known hurt as he had. Their story didn't begin with fireworks, but it ended with the kind of laughter others could only dream of. A love imperfect, but true. A home modest, but overflowing with enough. And from the cracks of their pasts, they cultivated something eternal. The belief that, no matter where life pushes you, happiness might simply be found in someone to share the seasons of rain and sun.